He was born in El Dorado, Arkansas, and made his major league debut in 1961. He could hit the long ball when he was younger, and he was always fast. But it wasn't until he turned 35 that he put it all together in one fabulous season. In 1974, he stole 118 bases, breaking Maury Will's major league record. He was a premier base stealer who just got better with age. Woodie checked out Lou Brock as he made his case for Cooperstown.
The base runner's gaze is a quivering rapier, and the pitcher's look meets it with the doubtful en garde which precedes touche. Lou Brock's 90-foot lunge has the purposeful grace of a lunchless cheetah as he arrows down the line with an in-and-out stride which gathers ground so quickly that the slide into second base seems a scornful exclamation point.
I find that I cannot reach a peak of readiness unless you have some type of psychological warfare. I've been accused by certain infielders who are receiving the ball when I'm coming down, or I would come up sliding and you have a smile on my face.
To the timid, first base is a bastion, a refuge from which they must be driven. But to Lou Brock, it's a launching pad, a place from which, at the earliest opportunity, he must fly. Going into June with 30 stolen bases for the season, the Cardinals' Brock is at the moment ahead of Maury Will's pace in the record 104 theft year. And at one stretch, he ran off 28 in a row before being caught 3 short of an old mark by Max Carey. Although the dash of the thief looks like an individual feat of daring do, there are subtle assistances rendered by Ted Sizemore, who bats after Brock, a man whose observations and actions make him a valuable accomplice.
I feel that a stolen base is a two-part component, and the man behind you has to know what you're doing. There are certain things he must do in order to give you that advantage or that jump off first base, whether he has to take a strike on a certain type of pitcher or a certain style of a pitcher style. Does he swing away on the first pitch? What are your feeling about this pitcher and catcher? Do you feel you can take it at any time?
Sizemore describes his gadfly act with a geniality which masks its capacity to madden.
I stand about as deep in the batter's box as I possibly can, and most catchers know that I do that anyway, so it keeps them back and it keeps them from coming out quickly and being able to throw maybe a step and a half quicker than what he normally can. We do have our own signs together. I watch the pitcher as well as Lou when he's picking him off, trying to pick him off, and if I can see anything he does different, I try to help him out in that manner.
Let thy words be more than silence, remarked Pythagoras, a thought picked up by both sides in the war of distraction, which is part of the balance of runners and anti-runners.
Dylan Williams of the Cubs, who is known as a very quiet guy, certainly this year he's playing first base, and certainly he has begun to talk to me. You find that they would do quite a few things, try to distract your concentration.
A few of the veteran catchers will try to talk and get my concentration. And, you know, they know he's going to go. They know he's going to steal.
Approaching his 35th birthday, Brock has, like many artists, grown simpler as he has grown greater. He has learned, too, that the body language of left-handers, the clues of their observed motions, make them easier marks for theft, despite the fact that they don't have to turn to try picking him off. Concern for an increasingly brittle body teaches him that less is sometimes more.
One has to use the basic techniques. Anything fancy and out of the ordinary leads to injuries. One has to be strong, take a lot of pounding. You get hit pretty hard sliding to a base. Guys tag you pretty hard coming back in the first base. So you got to be able to take that punishment. You got to be open-minded to know that those things got to happen and going to happen.
Watching Brock venture into the open is to be reminded of netless trapeze teams, flyers whose arrogant assumption of omnipotence makes jeopardy fade to a faraway tinkle of warning bells. Like Maury Wills, he creates tension in the incipient challenge of his arrival at first base.
I do feel that more than one thing was accomplished, and Maury set the record, that he did open the door to the fact that the little guy who could run bases, steal bases, could very well drive the big car, live in the big houses, and what have you, and demand and command a big salary.
This is Heywood Hale Broun in St. Louis.
Lou Brock eventually broke Ty Cobb's all-time base-stealing record.